This is a quick presentation made especially for YouTube to help teachers who want to get the visual and active method into class. You know that attitude that says, let's put something useful on an iPod? Let's do something that really makes things visually interesting. The visual and active technique for SAT. These things happen because I've looked at really good teaching and I've seen teachers who do these techniques. So this is not original to me. I'm passing on what I've seen. So students tell me that they like my class, and this is what happens. I ask students to show gratitude, to write a thank you letter. I want them to make errors, and I let the students find mistakes. I write in columns, okay? Instead of going all the way across the page, I make it more visual. I videotape my classwork so students who don't take notes can review the class. I smile and I breathe deeply. I tell jokes. I've seen some teachers show up with two different shoes, and then the students have to interrupt and say, "You've got two different shoes on." Now this is good for ESOL classes, but it's also good to spark, to help students practice looking for details. Any student, any class can have this. We have to remember the many ways of learning. And sometimes I use a different hand. I'm a right-handed person, but I'll write something left-handed. I'll do something upside down. Let's show passion. Let's pull passion from students and show how it's exciting to be doing some of these things in class. We want to ask for their goals to make it relevant. We can adjust the classwork. We don't have to be working in a big picture school or in a cool school. We can make our classes cool. If you want to learn more about some of these techniques, I went to Big Picture Schools, bigpicture.org, and I learned a lot of these techniques. Let's remember the step-by-step learner. What I'm doing right now is not step-by-step. I'm just throwing stuff at you. So we need to impose a structure. This entire course is like a cruise ship. We don't know where the ship is headed next, but let's tell them ahead of time so that they know where to go. We want to encourage interruptions because some students learn randomly. Don't allow side talking, but create pair work so that they talk. Our class is like a variety show. This is particularly true in an ESOL class, but why not for history, science? Da-da-dun-dun-da-da. And now for something completely different. Why not draw something? Sometimes an abstract idea can be explained with a picture. Recite a poem. Even in science class or math class, we can use a poem. Show students how you remember things, like Roy G. Biv. This is the, arc-en-ciel, arco-iris, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Read books. Show people. Bring in books. There are some fabulous books out there. I like showing students, hey, I'm a teacher. I read. It's a conserving attitude. Wow. This is by a guy named Neil Postman. I recommend these things. Bring books into class, lend them, and give away CDs. I make all sorts of CDs. Hey, let's try this CD. Look into the eyes of the student. They might forget what you taught, but they'll remember how you treated them. Put something cool on YouTube. Why not? Pull something cool from YouTube. Do something physical. Move around. I want to do something wrong now and then to show them that it's okay to try and fail. Fail often. Fall and get up. That sounds good. And I like putting quotes around the room for the random learner. When I see another teacher do something cool, I tell them that is great. I talk about my mentors, and I ask them about their mentors. I want to say it again, and I say it with synonyms because maybe that would be a better way to reach one of the other ways of learning. Remember the role of adrenaline in forming memories. If you want questions, if you have questions about that, that was on a 60 Minutes report, TV. Why is everything great? What happened to good, just fine, adequate? I used to say, oh, how are you doing? Great. How's the weather? Great. Let's try to use other words besides great. Now, Mr. Stunt, he really abused me. He said, why are you nodding? It's annoying. You look like a puppy. Well, he's setting a standard. I was like a bobblehead doll in the front row. That's the way I was. But what a gift he would give us to see ourselves as others see us. And so it's a good thing to give feedback to students. I thought he was abusive, but really he was giving me a gift. He was basically saying, you have a knack for observing, so use it properly. I wonder what this means. Oh well, Malcolm Gladwell, excellent. And my friend Jack Rich, excellent. Really good people. One of my mentors is named Carrie, and a teacher told him, I'm going to put a stop to this nonsense. You thinking that you can become a university graduate, that's terrible. So we have to be careful what we say to students. A slight comment, even if it's a joke, can really hurt them. Now, let's try to put endorphins into students. Remember, we're trying to edutain. We like bringing in websites because they're very visual. It's okay to sing a song or recite a song. It happened just this morning. I was walking down the street. A milkman and a postman, policeman, I did meet. There in every window and every single door, I recognize people I'd never noticed before. Excellent website to help students understand Briggs-Meyer. And why not bring in a person or a video or an object? Bring something new. Let's talk about psychology. PsychologyToday.com is excellent. Let's reinforce that what happens with a lack of sleep. You must get sleep, students. Something happened to my uncle. That's, life lessons. We talk about fake it until you make it. There's a guy named Charlie Seaman. He told me that, Seaman's challenge was, I wonder if any of you would be interested in learning more about Cross Creek. And then he just left it. And so it was up to us to come and ask him questions. Remember what they do in Waldorf schools? They ask the kid to create the content of their textbooks. This is all about guerrilla teaching and looking for an alternative way to assess. Okay? That's about it. If you have any questions, call me. 954-646-8246. I'm happy to talk with any teacher, parent, student, administrator. Let's make school interesting. If you prefer to write to me, it's free English lessons at gmail.com. Thank you for your time.